I'm very passionate, about the opportunity that people have in insurance. And so it bleeds into my teaching. I mean, teaching in general is just, I absolutely love to teach. I love to take abstract concepts, make them very simple, make them very concrete for people to understand, memorize, retain. I use a lot of humor. I do like just silly things, and it really helps. I was a middle school teacher for a while, and I taught in Glendale, Arizona, which is a large, population of English was their second language. So I was spending a lot of time just teaching things, very simply breaking down these complex topics, and it transfers into my teaching now. So review after review will come in like, English is not a strong language for me, or, I have this learning disability, or I have ADD and I can't pay attention to anything, but your videos were able to hold me on. It's really interesting. I've had many people in education or online course development tell me that videos should not be very long, that they should be like 5 to 10 minutes, and I'm like, I have like a 4-hour video, is one of my, like, I'll just teach, right? So, but it's no problem. Like, I mean, obviously people can stop and come back, but it's not been a problem at all. And I think, with so many of the courses right now that you can take, like ExamFX, Kaplan, AD Banker, they are very text heavy based, right? So you've got to read, but it's kind of like, if insurance itself is a whole new language. So it's kind of like, here's a course on learning German and it's written in German, good luck. Like that's kind of how the insurance course is. It's written in a language you don't understand, and here's the course for you to learn it. So I like to break it down, make it super simple, and alleviate a lot of the pressure. That's another huge thing that people are missing, is when they get excited, they have a new opportunity, they're going to get into the insurance field, they've heard all these amazing things, how they can make money, how they can help people, and then they're like, okay, you have to pass this test, here's a course that you have to take, it's easy, it'll only take you like a week, not even, right? And then they log in and then they start reading it and they're like, oh my God, their eyes start melting out of their head, nothing makes sense, they want to pull their hair out, and then they're failing, they're like, yeah, it's just awful, right? So then they get very demoralized and they're like, oh my God, this job isn't for me. I got so excited. Now I'm not going to be able to pass this 100%. Test. There's no way. And then they're like stressed. And then like, I've worked with a lot of people where they got hired on the contingency that they passed. So like if they don't pass, they lose the job, and they already quit their other job, so like they got nothing. Like they're like, on a hope and a prayer, I got to get this done. So, being able to, help them with ease their mindset. We can learn, we can study, we've got this. There's none of the courses out there really focus on, the mindset piece, like looking at a person in their entirety. They've got a story, they've got a soul, they've got worries, they got fears, and not only do I teach the information in a way that makes sense, I help them alleviate those fears. I make it very simple for them, and that makes a huge difference in people being able to pass.
Yeah, those courses that I've taken before are soulless, that's for sure. And it's just a bunch of just definitions and words, and it's like, dude, I want to fall asleep like 3 minutes into studying it.
Yeah. And so we are on the track to release our own state-approved material. So right now we are considered supplemental. You would use in about half the states do require that you earn a certificate. So like you're required to show that you studied for the exam before you take the test. Half the states don't care. So in the states where they don't care, you can absolutely use my content 100% and you can pass the exam. In the states where you need a certificate, you still have to take a course like ExamFX or Kaplan, and you can use my videos in place to teach you the material in that course. But we are working on getting our own state-approved material so that we could just be everything that people need from the jump. One of the things people have always told me that I should be raising my prices, that my prices are too low. And I'm like, they've already spent $200-$300 on ExamFX, on Kaplan, on Excel. They're trying to get into a new job. I don't want to make them have to pay a ton more, so I've always kept my prices very low. And because I know they're buying it extra on top of what they've already spent and it's not working. But I would love to be able to one and done solution, you know, for people to pass their exam. So very soon we'll be rolling out our own state approved courses in the states that require it. So it's going to be awesome when that happens.